(267-495-4866) is the phone number, or Doug Karns program at gmail.com. This is the Doug Karns program here on All Noise Radio. Welcome back to it. We were just finishing up talking about standing up for something, believing in something. And like the ESPN writer who wrote Chink in the Armor, ESPN needs to say, come on, man. Like, you special interest, like, relax. He didn't mean it. He wasn't being, he wasn't writing a racial slur. He wasn't trying to be mean. It was an honest headline. Honest headline. Just like I talked about last week in the show, it's all about honesty. And like, if it was an honest mistake, if you want to call it a mistake, it was an honest mistake. And ESPN should just get out of our backyards. If you want to go to court, fine. We'll go to court. We'll settle it. You'll lose. And we'll move on. Just stand up for what's right. And this is what gives capitalism a bad name. Just stand for something. So just like earlier this week, I saw somebody on my Facebook posted up a tattered flag that was flying over a local high school in my area. And I think everybody agrees that that's just so despicable. Like, you can't make sure you have a perfectly flown flag at all times. But then it got me thinking, why would anybody fly the flag or want to worry about flying the flag? What does that flag even mean to anybody? I know what it means to me. I know it stands for what this country was built on. Liberty, the pursuit of happiness, individual responsibility, individual freedom. The government doesn't tell you what to do, can't tell you what you can't do. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you can do whatever you want. But what does that mean to the average person? Like, just like 9/11. We all came, after we got attacked, we all came and got united around the flag. But that was it. And look at us today. We're torn apart once again. Just like we were on September 10th, 2001. Why did we rally around the flag? Was there any reason? Did we believe in the flag for something? Or did we just wanted to rally around the stars and stripes? And this is what got me thinking, because I don't think the flag means anything to anybody. Yeah, sure, you have nationalism. You're like, oh, I'm proud to be American. But why? Why are you proud? Why do you support the flag? Why do you get teary-eyed at a sports event when they sing the national anthem? What does that mean to you? Does it just mean that you're here as an American? Or does it mean what our founding fathers put in place for us, for generations and generations down the road to enjoy? And I understand why now, I pass them all day long. I see tattered flags and nobody cares. Because nobody knows what it even means anymore. Nobody understands this country and why it was put here for a reason. For freedom. The world never tasted freedom until the United States of America was formed. It was all socialism, monarchies, everything over in Europe and Asia. Somebody was always ruled by man over there. This was the first country to be ruled by law. Not by man, by law. We set a couple laws, and we said, don't break them. Do whatever you want, just don't break them. There wasn't somebody saying, you can't do this. You have to do that. You can't do this. That's not what America's about. So does that flag, what does that flag stand for you? What does it mean to you? Does it mean 50% of people in this country do not pay taxes? Does that mean 50% of people receive some kind of entitlement? Does that mean there's 10% unemployed? What does that flag mean to you today? Because I'm pretty sure we're moving to Marxism, socialism, and that's where our government is going. And that flag is representing that. So when you fly that flag, that's what it's representing. That's what the conclusion I came to this weekend was that flag stands for whatever the government thinks it stands for. And we're rapidly moving to socialism. My kids, your kids, future generations, we're moving to a place in the world that we do not want to even go. Once people have left freedom and lost freedom, they never tasted it again. How can you? Once you lose it, you don't know how to get it back. It's been lost through generations. When the Founding Fathers came over here, that's all they knew. Well, I'm sure they didn't come over here, but they were born here. But when their ancestors came here, that's all they knew. They had to fend for themselves. They were in this new world. They governed themselves. They took care of each other. They took care of their neighbors. We don't do that today. Is that what the flag stands for today? We don't take care of each other? We just let the government take care of our needy and our poor? And you can see how good they're doing. I was watching Titanic over the weekend, and some of you may know that I'm a huge Titanic freak. Not the movie, just the ship. I mean, I just love the ship so much. I think it's one of the coolest ships ever made. And when I was younger, when I was in my early teenage years, I used to be obsessed with the ship. I knew the A deck, the B deck, the C deck, the D deck, the E deck, the boiler room, the electric room, the Turkish bath, the gym. I knew where all that stuff was in the ship. So when the movie came out, I was pretty excited. I wanted to see the ship for myself. I wanted to act like I was there. By the way, it's coming out in 3D next month. In 2 months, in April. I mean, I'm not excited to go see it or anything, but I'm definitely dragging my girlfriend to go see it so I don't look like a loser seeing Titanic in 3D. But how cool would it be to see that ship in 3D? Oh, I can't wait. So anyways, I was watching the movie this weekend, and it got me thinking. Think of all the first class, all the second class, the hierarchy on that ship, and then the third class that were considered, they had to be separated from the other classes, and, they were considered more animal-like, They couldn't mix with the first class couldn't mix with the riffraff. But what happened when the iceberg hit the ship? Everybody seemed fine. The first class was calm. They're like, oh, this can't happen. This ship can't be sunk. No, it won't happen here. Nah, we'll be fine. We'll just go back to our rooms and drink our brandy and everything will be fine. They had no idea the ship was going to sink. They just thought, this can't happen to us. We're first class. The ship is unsinkable. And this is the same mentality that we have here in America. This is America. This is first class. That's not going to happen here. Until all of a sudden, the ship starts pointing upwards. And people start to realize, hey, there's some water at the bottom of the ship. Does anybody notice that? And there goes America. America starts tipping into the water farther and farther down. And you know what happened in that movie? What do you think the first class people did, the second class people did, when that ship started going high, high up in the air, when the stern was sticking straight up in the air? People were panicking. People had no idea. They weren't prepared for this. The White Star Line wasn't prepared either. They didn't have any lifeboats because they didn't think that ship could sink. And that's exactly where we are today. We're not prepared. Nobody's prepared. Why should I be prepared? It's not going to happen here in America. This ship can't be sunk. Do you understand the mentality that we're in? We are the Titanic. All this debt problem, all the problems overseas in the Middle East with oil. I mean, oil is up to $110 a barrel. We're going to see $4 a gallon in the Northeast in a week or two. What happens if it hits $5? We need to become energy independent, or this ship is going to snap in half and sink. We need to cut the debt down, or this ship is going to snap in half and we sink. We need to get the communists out of the government, or this ship will certainly snap and sink. We have so many problems, and we faced these problems one by one before, and we've overcame them. But how do we overcome them when they all hit us at one point, at the same point? You know, the oil goes up to $200 a barrel. Our debt becomes $20 trillion. Our businesses can't survive anymore. Our economy goes down the dumps. There's more unemployed. How do we get out of that hole? It's not going to be an easy road. I mean, it's a problem that we need to think about. It can happen here. This ship will sink if we act like it won't. And just think about, if you remember in the second half of that movie, just think of the panic. People just started panicking. Guns were being shot. People were jumping on the boats trying to cut the ropes down so they can just save their lives. That's what's going to happen here. You're seeing it over in Greece right now. They're cutting. It's pandemonium. They think they're all going to die. And that is what's happening. And it's going to happen here. People panic because they're not prepared. They're like, they have, their mindset says it's not going to happen. And then when it does, they have no idea what to do. The first thing you do, you can prep your mind, saying, okay, it can happen here. So if it does happen here, what's the next step? What can I do? These are the things we should be learning, not the Oscars on Sunday night and Jennifer Lopez's nipple slips out. No, how does that save you? How does that save your family's life? If this ship starts to sink, how does that save your life? How do you survive? You're going to be one of those people who are trying to run up to the back of the boat and try to stay afloat as long as possible so you don't hit that freezing water and die. And that freezing water is our debt, the threats by Iran, the oil supply, the entitlement programs we have in this country, the Occupy Wall Street people. I mean, we've never had this kind of pressure before. We're starting to see this top push down on us, the government, and we're starting to see the bottom push up as well, squeezing all of us normal people in the middle. We've never seen problems like this before. And if we don't start standing up for something, we're going to sink. And people are going to be panicking. People are going to be dying in the streets. Remember when I talked about the EMP? If Iran shot an EMP up in the air or shot a nuclear bomb in the air over the United States and just blew it up, didn't detonate it on the ground, it would send out a electronic magnetic pulse that would kill everything with a chip in it. That's your electricity, your heat, your iPhone, everything, your car. Analysts predict that we would lose a third of the country within 6 months. 100 million people. Think about it. No trucks to bring food to grocery stores. People start starving. People become looters, murderers, just to stay alive. You will become one of the people on the Titanic who thought the ship wouldn't sink, and you end up in those icy waters. Think about that. All right, we'll be right back after this.